Do you ever have one of those moments where something so small, so seemingly inconsequential, ends up completely transforming your life? That's what happened to me with cloves. I know. Cloves, those little dried flower buds that make their way into pumpkin pie and Indian curries. How could something so ordinary have such a profound impact? Well, let me tell you, it all started on a random Tuesday evening a few years back. The fateful introduction. I was stopped at a random health food store picking up some vitamins. As I was checking out, my eyes scanned over the little basket of potpourri and spice packets they had by the register. Most of it looked like the usual stuff. Cinnamon sticks, star anise, that kind of thing. But then one packet caught my eye. It was just a simple little bundle of dried cloves. I'm not sure what made me pick it up and throw it in my basket on a whim. Maybe it was the deep, rich brown color, or the promise of that classic warm holiday spice aroma. Either way, I tossed it in my bag without a second thought. Fast forward a few days and I'm snacking away mindlessly in front of the TV. I pop one of those dried clove buds in my mouth, thinking it would be a nice breath freshener. The moment those intense, tongue-tingling flavors exploded across my taste buds, I was hooked. An ancient remedy revealed. Now, I had always vaguely known that cloves had some medicinal properties. After all, they've been used for therapeutic purposes in India and China for thousands of years. But I had no idea the extent of their benefits until I really started looking into it. And let me tell you, once I did start researching, I was blown away by what I found out about these little flavor bombs. It's like someone cracked open an ancient tome of natural remedies, and the wisdom spilled out into my brain. The list of cloves' healing powers is pretty mind-blowing. 1. Anti-inflammatory properties that can help with arthritis, headaches, and fungal infections. 2. Antimicrobial effects to fight bacteria and viruses. 3. Rich in antioxidants like vitamin C to boost immunity. 4. Blood sugar regulation for diabetes management. 5. Promotion of healthy digestion and gut health. 6. Natural pain relief. 7. Breath freshening and oral health benefits. 8. Anti-cancer properties from components like eugenol. Honestly, I could go on and on. The point is, cloves are pretty much a panacea in spice form. They're like Mother Nature's little multivitamin, and at the center of all these benefits is one key factor: their high concentration of beneficial compounds and oils like eugenol, vitamins, minerals, and flavonoids. The power of consistent clove consumption. So after diving into all this research on cloves, I knew I needed to incorporate them into my life on the regular. That's when I stumbled upon the traditional practice of clove chewing, or cloving as it's sometimes called. Now, I'm sure you've seen those decorative clove-studded orange pomanders around the holidays. Well, it turns out that aromatic look was born out of the age-old habit of chewing on cloves to reap their benefits. From that point on, I decided to start my own daily clove chewing ritual. I'd carry around a little tin of whole cloves and pop a few in my mouth over the course of each day. I'd chew them up slowly, swishing that intense flavor all around and letting the oils absorb through the membranes in my mouth. At first, that rush of raw clove essence was pretty potent and took some getting used to. But before long, I was hooked on that subtle burning sensation and lingering kick of cool mint. It became a weirdly enjoyable obsession. And let me tell you, once I committed to those consistent daily clove portions, that's when the real magic started happening. A whole body transformation. Within just a few weeks of my new clove habit, I started noticing some subtle but significant changes. Little things at first, like 1. Fresher breath all day long, no more am I stinking up the car on my commute. 2. Less bloating and sluggishness after meals. 3. Fewer issues with seasonal allergies and sinus congestion. But then came the slightly bigger changes that really blew my mind. 1. Fewer muscle aches and pains even after tough workouts. 2. Clearer skin and complexion. 3. More balanced energy levels throughout the day. No more 2 p.m. slump. I figured if I was experiencing benefits like these just from chewing cloves regularly, they must be doing all kinds of good things internally that I couldn't even see. And it turns out I was absolutely right. You see, when you chew raw cloves, their powerful phytonutrients absorb directly into your system through the membranes in your mouth. So their healing properties aren't just acting locally, they're circulating fully through your body. Those cloves were like a special ops unit for my overall health on a cellular level. Here are just a few of the major areas where I experienced game-changing improvements. Inflammation destruction. I'm sure we're all tired of hearing about how inflammation is the root of so many health issues these days. Well, cloves contain a potent array of anti-inflammatory compounds that can help shut that whole mess down. For me, this meant a huge reduction in issues like 1. Joint pain and stiffness. My trick knee feels 20 years younger. Headaches and sinus pressure. 3. General achiness and muscle soreness. All those nagging little inflammatory fires everywhere were finally being put out, one by one. My bod just felt looser, lighter, and less tense overall. Oral and digestive reset. Cloves have been prized throughout history for promoting healthy gums, freshening breath, and aiding digestion. And I experienced the full benefits of this trifecta once I started clove chewing regularly. On the mouth front, I could feel them working their antibacterial magic. My gums stopped bleeding during flossing, and my dentist said my levels of plaque and gingivitis had decreased dramatically. But the real showstopper was how they benefited my entire digestive system from start to finish. The germicide properties of clove oils help kill bad bugs in your gut and promote growth of healthy bacteria. Plus, their carminative properties can relieve gas, bloating, and general discomfort after eating. Let's just say my unpredictable bouts of volatile flatulence became much more of a rare occurrence, and overall digestion just became smoother and easier, if you know what I mean. Immune system reinforcement. With cloves being so antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and rich in vitamin C, it's no wonder they gave my immunity such a heavy-duty boost. Those little guys were like arming my body's defenses with a whole fleet of microscopic tanks and fighter jets to ward off any threats. I used to catch every little bug that was going around in the office or with my kids. But once I built up my clove reserves, I was staying healthy as a horse all year long. Even through that nasty flu season a couple winters ago, I didn't get so much as a sniffle while everyone around me was getting knocked out. And when I did feel the tiniest hint of a scratchy throat or some mild sniffles, I'd just up my clove game for a few days and those symptoms would vanish before they could fully materialize into something worse. Powerful stuff. Blood sugar steadiness. Now this was one of those happy accident type of clove benefits that I wasn't even expecting, but I'm so glad it happened. You see, cloves contain naturally occurring compounds and antioxidants that can help improve insulin sensitivity and glucose uptake by cells. This means they can play a key role in naturally managing blood sugar levels and preventing those wild spikes and crashes. For me, this translated into fewer bouts of shaky energy dips and cravings in the mid-afternoon. My mental focus and productivity just felt more stable and sustained throughout the day without the usual highs and lows. But even better, my levels of HbA1c, a marker for long-term blood sugar control, improved dramatically over time according to my doctor. This suggested I might have been exhibiting some early signs of insulin resistance before my clove routine started reversing that troubling trend. Needless to say, adding a daily dose of cloves to my diet may have helped steer me away from a potential pre-diabetic path down the road, and that's just an incredible bonus. Cancer risk reduction. Alright, I saved the most exciting and impactful benefit for last. You see, study after study has shown that compounds in cloves like eugenol may have potent anti-cancer properties. Now, I don't want to overstate anything here or make wild claims, but the research does suggest that the antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents in cloves could potentially help prevent certain cancer cells from developing and spreading in the first place. For me, a history of cancer already ran pretty strongly in my family tree, so doing anything I could to potentially reduce those risks was a no-brainer, and making cloves a regular part of my diet seemed like a simple, affordable, and delicious way to stack the deck in my favor. Of course, I continued getting all my normal cancer screenings and checkups as recommended, but I loved knowing that my body was getting an extra level of plant-based cancer-fighting fortification just from my little clove habit. Truly, adding that one minor nutritional practice gave me such an amazing sense of control and preventative power over my own health and future. I felt empowered knowing I was being proactive about my wellness in a natural, holistic way every single day, an ancient superfood staple. So there you have it, all the reasons why something as simple and inexpensive as chewing cloves turned out to be one of the most transformative health habits I've ever adopted. From destroying inflammation to stabilizing blood sugar, to potentially reducing cancer risks. These little flower buds have pretty much worked miracles on my overall well-being inside and out. And you know, it's kind of amazing to realize that cloves weren't some recently discovered superfood fad. They've been revered for their healing properties through ancient medicinal traditions for literally thousands of years. Cultures all around the world have been chewing cloves and using them as a tonic for vitality, since long before the existence of modern drugs and treatments. They're basically an OG holistic remedy that have more than stood the test of time. In a way, making cloves a staple part of my own diet helped me tap into that ancient stream of folk wisdom about living a more balanced, healthy life. I love knowing that every time I chew on a few of those little buds, I'm partaking in one of humanity's oldest self-care practices. It's like giving myself a deliciously spicy hug from the grandmothers of natural medicine. A simple habit, sustained results. Years later, I'm still going strong with my daily clove chewing ritual. It's just become such an easy established part of my normal routine. While the initial benefits started knocking me off my feet pretty quickly, I continue experiencing incremental improvements and positive compounding results over time. It seriously amazes me that this one tiny habit has had such a vastly holistic impact. These days, I get grins from friends and coworkers anytime I bust out my little clove tin and pop a few in my mouth. They've all seen and marveled at the changes in my health and vitality since I got hooked on this quirky practice. Whether it's how much more energetic I am, how I'm able to keep up with my kids more easily, or just my overall sunny outlook and lack of complaints, people can't help but attribute a lot of it to my unshakable clove dependence. And hey, if the wholesome side effect of fresher breath is what it takes to get more people on board with nature's miracle spice, I'm not going to argue. I just always make sure to lean in and say, you know you want a piece of this clove action, don't you? Does it work for everyone? Now, I'm certainly not claiming that chewing cloves alone is some panacea cure, all that will instantly fix every single health issue out there. Of course not. Different remedies will work better or worse for different people, based on their unique situations and body chemistries. But from my own personal experience, and that of the many others I've managed to convert into clove chewers over the years, I can definitively say the potential impacts are pretty astounding overall. Obviously, it's always smart to check with your doctor before starting any new health regimen, or adding serious levels of concentrated compounds like the ones in cloves. But for most people, adding a simple, affordable, plant-based practice like this to your lifestyle is a pretty low-risk, high-reward scenario in my book. A life enhanced by simple pleasures. Honestly, adopting my clove chewing habit wasn't some grand life overhaul or painful bout of self-deprivation for me. It was honestly the opposite, an enjoyable addition of something small and simple, yet profoundly beneficial. You see, I'm a firm believer that the journey towards optimal wellness shouldn't have to be militant or sorely lacking in life's little pleasures. Those severe restrictions and grand gestures just aren't sustainable long-term for most mere mortals like myself. To me, true healthy living is all about finding those tiny, meaningful practices, nutritional hacks, and non-negotiable rituals that fit seamlessly into your existing lifestyle, like second nature. And what could be more unassuming and easy to incorporate than occasionally chewing on a few clove buds here and there? It's not radical or disruptive. If anything, it's relaxing and soothing, even meditative once you acquire the taste for it. Yet despite being such an undemanding habit, the benefits and positive impacts just keep accumulating. It's honestly incredible how such a small thing can enhance your life in so many compounding, tangible ways over time. And hey, the way I see it, if you're going to develop an unshakable dependency on something, it might as well be cloves, right? I mean, obsessively gulping down supersized energy drinks, or being hopelessly addicted to greasy snack chips, wouldn't exactly have done wonders for my health and wellness journey, you know? But getting enthusiastically fixated on popping nature's own deliciously spicy, antioxidant-loaded breath refreshers, I'm more than happy to double down on that so-called vice, a final invitation to join the clove craze. Look, I know we're living in an era of overwhelming health advice, fads, superfood manias, and no shortage of expensive supplemental commitments being shoved down our throats constantly. Truthfully, it's all a bit exhausting, so if you're suffering from wellness fatigue and seeking something simple, natural, affordable, yet legitimately impactful to focus your efforts on, I wholeheartedly recommend taking up the humble clove. Trust me when I tell you, these little spice nuggets carry concentrated compounds and medicinal benefits that have been changing lives in a big way for centuries, and they just might end up transforming yours too, once you experience their full-body healing magic for yourself. All it takes is keeping an open mind and a little tin of cloves with you to start nibbling on here and there. I guarantee it won't take long to get bit by the clove bug too. So what do you say? Why not join me and countless others throughout history by adding a pinch of clove power to your wellness journey? Let's continue passing down this ancient, deliciously zesty superfood tradition together. Who's ready to become the next clover evangelist, spreading the spicy gospel of whole-body health one bud at a time? I'm game if you are. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe and share.